right, ladies and gentlemen, it's pretty clear that over the past, it looks like about 14 hours, there's been a lot of stuff going on when it comes to Wuthering Waves. If you just taking a look at Twitter or even YouTube, there's been a lot of teasers for both the new version 2.4 as well as, of course, the Septimont region. And so what I wanted to do today was actually go over all of the new tidbits that have dropped and do a bit of a deep dive, do a bit of a breakdown of all the different things that we're going to have available for us over the next couple of days. Because if these devs are following the track record that they have before, especially for the release of version 2.0, it looks like 2.4 and beyond is going to have a lot of really great stuff available. So with that, I think I've got a higher quality link of it over here, so we'll just go ahead and take a look. This is going to be the Wuthering Waves special record, City of Glory. A nice 2 minutes that we'll be having over here, so let's check it out. Okay. You know what this is really reminding me of? This is giving me Game of Thrones intro vibes. This is some really goddamn high quality CG that they're using here as the teaser. Got some water as well. Oh boy. Oh my. I mean, again, this is probably another big Game of Thrones reference. I think this reminds me of, like, that one area in there, Bravos, where they have, like, the gigantic, like, soldier as, like, part of, like, the architecture, the geography of the city. It's gonna be sick climbing that. I bet that he's gonna have a Sonnen's casket at the top of his head. Yep. Okay, yeah, this is 1,000,000% Game of Thrones. This is 1,000,000% Game of Thrones inspired. Holy. So I know that Honkai Star Rail has the Fate Stay Night Unlimited Bladeworks collab. This kind of looks this kind of looks better, bro. Yeah, that is one nice graveyard of swords that they have available over here. I wonder how many people in the region are actually going to use swords, though. I'm a little bit surprised that there aren't any other weapons in the space. Oh, and that's the big gladiator dude. Okay, so it looks like there's going to be a coliseum right behind it. Oh. And now they have Roman legionnaires, Greek gladiators, that sort of thing going on. Coliseum endgame, PvP. I mean, we see the spear over here, obviously, right? But as we're all aware, spears in Wuthering Waves, we can just look at Lupa, and we can also just look at Gion. Spears in Wuthering Waves are just Broadblade users. And that looks like the Dark Tide. Oh, yeah. And it's making shit grow, too. And looks like we have the, I was thinking that was a dragon at first, but I think that's the griffin. That is clearly, like, shown at the start over here. It looks like the griffin has also been corrupted by the Dark Tide. Pretty similar to what I imagine actually happened to that useless horse thing, Imperator. Yeah, that piece of trash. Looks like the same thing that happened. So maybe the Thernodian isn't actually dead. Man, what is up with, like, Renacita's Sentinels, like, not being able to do their job properly? Was Jue the only capable one? It looks great, though. Oh, now, oh, dear. Okay, it looks like there's gonna be a tsunami. The hype for this region is already insane. Okay, looks like we got the moon. We got the sun. Holy. That's a sword made out of swords. Ladies and gentlemen, that sword is made out of swords. That's kind of fucking sick, bro. Another Game of Thrones reference, too. And we all know that's Phrolova. I think this basically just confirms that Phrolova is going to be released in the 2.4 arc, some version after that, because, I mean, guys, we've been seeing her since version 1.0 of the game. That's a lot of teasers. That is a lot of teasers for her. She was in version 1.0 leading all of those tacit discords. She was in 2.0 as the main villain. And I guess now she's moved on to the other region as well. Bro, she's a world traveler at this point. She's Mrs. Worldwide. Yeah, her and her licorice. And we got coins. And of course, Cartethia's crown. And it looks like it's broken. Why did it break and become reforged? All right. The order of the banner is in this video. Well, that doesn't really make too much sense unless it's going backwards. So, unless they're going backwards, it's in reverse. Yeah, so I'm assuming that this is... I mean, we know that Cartethyia is coming out in version 2.4. I assume that this is related to Lupa, then, because I hear some people in chat saying that these coins are on her cape. And so I guess Phrolova should be in version 2.5. And I guess big old Broadblade user. I thought this was actually Lupa's sword for a second, but I guess it's not going to be Lupa's sword. I guess this one's going to be in 2.5 or 2.6. And whoever the moon is should be in 2.6 or 2.7. I guess if that's what the order is going to be in. So, okay, I mean, this is a pretty goddamn good teaser, if I'm frankly being honest. The coins have a wolf motif. Let's see over here. I can't catch it, but we might be able to see it on the actual stills. So, yeah, I'm just going to be honest here. This is probably one of the best teasers that I've seen for not just a version update, but game. And we all know that Kuro loves doing their character teasers, and they did them in order. One example that I actually want to show is... So we had this story trailer over here that was released basically way back in the day, 3 months ago. And what you'll be able to see in this story teaser is that they put the order of the limited characters front to back. So we started off with Phoebe over here, right? Went into Brant, and then proceeded to go into Antarella right after that one. Then we had Zani. Then it was Chacona. And then Cartethyia. And that has been the literal exact order that we've had all the drip marketing and all of the character releases. The only one that isn't showing on here that's in version 2.4 is naturally, right, Lupa. And, you know, considering that this entire storyline was dedicated to, you know, Rinascita and all the stuff going on in Raguna, that makes sense, right? And so it looks like this teaser over here is picking up right where we left off from that version. And so let's go ahead, now that we've done a bit of an analysis, right, of all the things going on, let's get into the actual posts themselves. And boy, oh boy, do we have quite a bit for us to go through. So I think it actually makes sense for us to go in, like, reverse order. We're going to see this say crown over here. And if you don't know who this is related to, I think it's pretty damn obvious. We all know it's supposed to be Cartethyia, Imperator, all of that stuff. The crown is literally right there. That's the big one. That's the small curved one. That's on the smaller form. I mean, we all pretty much know the character's been officially drip marketed. It is what it is, right? I don't think we need to dive too much into this. I know this crown is on a bunch of other echoes in game, but yeah, let's be honest. The version is also supposed to be called Lightly We Toss Our Crown. So maybe she's going to get rid of it. Maybe the drip marketing is actually fake and this thing's going to disappear at some point. We did see it get broken and also reforged at the same time. Next up, we're going to have Glory and the Crowns. And okay, I see what people were talking about. This is clearly a wolf that is showing up on all of these coins. It was a little bit hard to see in the trailer itself, and it also has the tagline of glory. And I think it might make a little bit of sense for us to take a look at, I guess now at this point, Lupa, and see whether or not, yeah, those coins are literally on her cape. So I see what people mean now. He also has the wolf tail, the flame wolves that are coming out. And though I don't think it says glory in here, she's the star gladiator. And, you know, a big thing about gladiators in the arena is that they're looking for glory from winning combat. And, I mean, the coins are literally right there. So that's going to be Lupa. So we can just go ahead and, frankly, go in order now. I believe Frivola's was the next one. It's called Beyond. Don't know what that's supposed to mean. To be honest, this is probably the most vague one of them all. All I know is that this licorice, this flower, is inherently tied to her. And that's pretty much it. I know she's also supposed to be called, like, the conductor as well. We see her with her wand all the time doing stuff. So, I mean, maybe she ascends. Yeah, maybe she loses the bandage permanently. We all know that she puts this on even though she has a perfectly fine second eye. So she just seems like a little bit goofy, to be honest. We know from the end of the 2.0 quest, that cinematic, he has a perfectly fine working eye behind that bandage and just wears it for fun. Yeah, her liberation is probably related to her eye, I would imagine. That thing, like, falls off. Yeah, she's a bit of a meme, to be honest. Next, we've got the sword made out of swords. And this one is Sun. And I think that these are, like, the two characters that we clearly don't know very much about. The sun and the sword made out of swords, as well as the moon. And I guess all of these... I mean, this looks like Jinxi's signature weapon. This looks like Ages of Harvest. So, I mean, it's just like a gold leaf with, like, little dew blossoms on it. I mean, these two, I'm pretty sure we'll see more news of them later, because this is the thing when it comes to this drip marketing, when it comes to these teasers. Kuro Games has actually done it before. If you're all familiar with what drip marketing we had actually in December, this was what we had. We basically were shown everything when it comes to the drip marketing that they were doing for the new region. And while we weren't super familiar with the characters that actually came out, well, Kuro Games went ahead and released the actual teasers, right? Drip marketed art for all 5 of these units at one time, right? Y'all remember Phoebe, we had the Rosia, we had the Carlotta rifle, the Zodi tie, and the Brant mask, which are all used across their liberations, right? So I imagine that within the next couple of hours, make sure to cover that as soon as it drops, all the characters related to these different motifs, they should be released if they haven't been released already in the form of drip marketing. And while it might not be like the splash arts like what we're seeing over here, it should be something, you know, maybe a little bit more artistic like what we saw for the new Renacita. And so I think that I'm going to be very, very, very excited for this one. I think that we're going to be in for a lot of great stuff when it comes to these updates, because boy, oh boy, have they put in the budget to put all of this stuff together and show us a bit about what might happen in 2.4 and beyond. I think that Septimont, I think that everything coming after that is slated to be one of the craziest regions that we've ever had. And it looks like the Dark Tide and the Thornodian are going to come back and, I guess, bite us in the ass. Because I would say that 2.2, the 2.2 story quest, it kind of ended on way too positive of a note, to be honest. It seemed like we kind of solved all the problems. We saved Cartethyia. We saved everybody from the Thornodian. Cantarella doesn't have any issues. The only thing we have left is the Order. And so maybe the Order is going to be woven into this. We all know that Phrolova is working hand in hand with them to make something happen. But we don't know what that necessarily is. Is Septimont part of Raguna? Septimont is not part of Raguna. It is part of Renacita. And so Raguna and Septimont are both cities. They're both cities in Renacita. So yeah, we'll just have to see. I'm very excited. Maybe we'll get another character from the Order later on, woven into the patches. Because one unit, actually no, everyone got shown. Shakota popped up over here. So maybe, yeah, these are going to be the only units that we're going to have available. Maybe they'll sneak a couple of 4-stars in here, after people have been asking for them for so long. But yeah, that'll be that, ladies and gentlemen. I think we've got a lot to look forward to, and I'm very excited to share all of that new news with all of you once it's all available. Let me know what you all think. Peace.